Good news! In this challenge, I've given you a head start. So one of the issues with the terminal scribe and canvas system was that the terminal scribe objects owned the canvas objects rather than the other way around. And this meant that the frame rate, or the frequency at which the image refreshes, was controlled by the scribe, not the canvas, and running multiple scribes on the canvas at the same time was difficult. So I've made some changes to the code.
So now the canvas object has a list of terminal scribes, and it also controls its own frame rate. Each terminal scribe, up here, has a list of moves. You can see every time I'm appending a move to the moves list, like in this forward function, for example, I'm adding a function and then a list of arguments for that function. And I add both of these together as a tuple. I add it to the moves list. The function I'm adding here, underscore forward, is prepended with an underscore to indicate that it's an internal function. It's a nested internal function and shouldn't be tried to use directly. Notice that there's one parameter that this nested function requires that's not actually being passed in this list of parameters, and that is the canvas. This will get added by the parent canvas itself when this forward function is actually called. And that all happens up here inside the go function. The go function starts by finding out how many moves it needs to iterate through by getting the max number of moves in each scribe. Then, for scribe and self.scribes, it creates the arguments it needs by adding itself to the list of arguments that got passed in for each move. Then it simply calls the function, passes in the list of arguments, reprints, and then sleeps for the frame rate.
So here's your challenge. I know that my classes may not look exactly like yours. You probably added some neat features and some better things. So integrate this pattern into your code where necessary, or maybe you have some better idea about the implementation details. At any rate, you should probably have some go function in the canvas that takes in a list of scribes, and each scribe has a list of movement functions. Then modify this go function in the canvas so that each move is executed in a separate thread. This canvas is still executing each function in each scribe one at a time and then reprinting itself. But these functions might be very complex, and they can all be executed independently. So for each set of movements, the canvas should spin up a new thread for each scribe. That scribe's move is then executed in that thread, all the threads are collected, and the canvas is reprinted. Don't overthink this one. The solution should just be a few lines of code. Good luck and get threading!